Um, Kristofferson died yesterday, and his music meant a lot to me, and so I thought I would play a couple of his songs the best way I can, and play one of mine that I wrote for him, and tell some stories in between. So I love this song. It's one of the many that I love of his. I think it's a really sexy song that I never really found a way of singing. I don't think I'm sexy enough to sing it, but I think it's I love it. Take the ribbon from your hair, shake it loose and let it fall. Lay it softly against my skin, like the shadows upon the wall. Come and lay down by my side till the early morning light. All I'm taking is your time. Help me make it through the night. I don't care what's right or wrong. I don't try to understand. If the devil takes tomorrow, then tonight I need a friend. I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow's out of sight. And it's sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. So I always sort of knew, I think anyone who likes films, everyone kind of knows Kristofferson's face from Blade, or a whole bunch of, bit characters in Hollywood films. But I started getting into his music when I started getting into Johnny Cash's music when I was like 16. And it was a slow thing, but I got more and more and more and more into his music, and deeper into this day I just keep finding new levels in his astounding poetry. When I was 16, I used to make this really strange music on my computer. It was really weird. I didn't even know what genre you put it in, like trap, hip hop, alternative, electronic. It was strange music, but if I've done some editing, I should give you a couple of snippets of what I remixed I sampled his songs when I was like 16, 17 years old, and a couple of songs that I can remember. So if I've done found it and put it in this edit, then you should hear it now and bang. So there should be two different things, but yeah, over the years I just loved more and more his music. Made some notes down here, which is why I'm looking at the floor. But yeah, I mean, I've gotten pretty much all of his albums, and I wanted to mention that I think most people my age and around that will just remember him from Blade and the couple of other things, but he did 2 really brilliant acting performances which I'd love to recommend. One is in a film called Lone Star, where he was this like despicable sheriff, and it's the scenes he's in that movie are some of the best you'll see in any neo-western. About there's a great standoff. There's many standoffs in that film, but there's a standoff between Kris Kristofferson as the evil sheriff and Matthew McConaughey, and it's hair-raisingly good. They're both at the top of their game. And then there's a great film that Scorsese made back in the day called Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, and he played something familiar to him, a songwriter, a singer, but the love interest, because unsurprisingly that appeal. But he's great in those 2 films. Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which is just a great movie all around, and Lone Star for anyone who likes a bit of a thriller, a western. He's top notch. But eventually, I've seen him twice in concert, and the best time was I went to Bristol and saw him in this sort of beautiful church, and I remember when I got there, his son. Well, he was doing tours all around the place, because I think the news in the scuttlebutt was he had Alzheimer's, which actually some years later turned out to be misdiagnosed Lyme disease. So it wasn't as severe and as degradational as Alzheimer's, which was a relief. But at the time he was doing sort of these tours, and they were sort of touted as his last thing. But I remember when I got to the Bristol concert, his lookalike son was helping sell the merchandise in the foyer, which was like really jarring, because his son was like, he looked so like him, but like from the 70s, Kris Kristofferson. And it was weird because like you go in and see like the present day Kris Kristofferson, which he wasn't as tall as you might think. I thought Kris Kristofferson was like 6 foot something or other, but Kris Kristofferson sort of closer to my dad's sort of height, around that. But yeah, it was cool to see his son, and it was amazing to see him in concert because he did it all by himself. No band, no backing, it was just him, guitar. His daughter came on in the sort of middle and did a number, and then did a number with him, and it was very beautiful. And one of the best things I did in life was when that concert ended, I stood up, managed to stand up before anyone else did a standing applause, and I gave him one of those Shia LaBeouf, like claps, and he looked directly in my eye with his, piercing blue eyes. He looked directly at me and smiled, which was amazing. I'll never, ever forget that. It was very special. And I mean, it goes without saying how meaningful it was to me. And his music, having in my life, felt like company, as the best music and films and art does. It feels like someone knows you, which is what you need. And at that time, we had my family had this cat that very, very, very unfortunately had a horrible affliction before it passed away, had a very, very painful and nasty way of exiting life. And I wrote a song, which I'll try and do now, which was in part for this lovely cat called Scooter, and also inspired and in part to Kristofferson, because I really, I really didn't want anything to happen to him. I didn't want him to leave. So this is this song that I wrote at that time. I can't remember what year it was. 10 or so years ago. I don't know, but it's called "Don't Die on Me." They say the grit and the grace should take its place in the life you know and lead. But to tell the truth, I wanna stick here with you. So don't you die on me. I've drank a better beer, saw a sunnier day too, with you right beside me, my friend, through and through. I've said too many goodbyes of grief. So brother, now don't die on me. No, brother, don't die on me. If you have to go, guess it's great, I'll know, and singing farewells in lead. But I'll be damned for lying to say I ain't crying, 'cause I don't want you to die on me. No, I don't want you to die on me. So I messed up, but it is what it is. I saw him again in Bournemouth. I went to go and stay with my friend John, and this wasn't too much longer, but I saw him again, and it was also very, very great. There's more people, and he did the same thing just by himself. He flubbed a few lines, it wasn't smooth, the sound guy messed up. I remember him scowling, like looking to the side and just like, what are you doing, sort of thing. And I remember, as I said, he did the same sort of setups to songs and transitions. And I remember in the middle of like "Help Me Make It Through the Night," where he sings the line, "I don't care what's right or wrong," and then he'd interrupt it. He goes, "Yeah, I do." And it was, I don't know, he said something like that, and he did it in Bristol as well, and I just thought it's nice. I've got one of the CDs I've got is his like live recording of one of the albums, a live recording of a London set, which is exactly the same of what I saw in concert those 2 times, Bristol and Bournemouth. It's wonderful. So something else I wanted to say was, like, when I had my car accident that I nearly died and changed my life, his CD was what I was listening to upon the impact. That's how long he stayed in my life for. And one of the things I did when going to the wreck of my car was to grab that CD with all the scratches and salvage it. And I was listening to it in the car today with it skipping. And what else did I want to say? that's about it. I mean, I feel lucky because for lots of reasons, but mainly just because he was just a great songwriter and he did a good job in acting. Pat Garrett, Bit of the Kids, another good film, cool film, really cool film. But I just feel lucky that I got into his music when I did. There's so many songs that mean so much to me, and they continue, new ones keep continuing, make more and more sense to me as time goes on. He was such an intelligent guy. If you watch some of his interviews and what he said, he was such a brave guy. There's footage of him defending Sinead O'Connor, which is iconic, where he said a line which stays with everybody, and they don't really attribute it to Kris Kristofferson, but there's a time when Sinead O'Connor was famously sort of very controversial. She'd made some controversy and she was booed at a big concert, and he just did a set before her, and he came onto the stage to counsel her and take her to one side and give her a hug and he whispered in her ear, "Don't let them bastards get you down." But if anyone wants to ask me about or borrow any of my CDs or anything, you're welcome. I'd love to talk about his music and stuff about Kris Kristofferson with anyone who's interested. I'm going to try one last. I'm going to try one of the other songs which I love of his, but I wanted to show. I don't know if the camera can see, but this is from one of my many scrapbooks. These are the 2 tickets from a show. I don't know if you can see that, but there they are. And these are the 2 sort of leaflets. Here is the autograph, which I don't really care about autographs much, but it's nice. It makes me remember some good memory, so it serves a purpose that way. But I love his later work, his later albums, and I love this one. I'm hoping I don't mess it up because I really do love it, and it's called "Closer to the Bone." I only do a little bit of it, but yeah. Ain't it kind of funny? Ain't it just the way though? Ain't you getting better? Running out of time, making pretty music, closer to your feelings, working on the reasons, running on the rhyme, roaring. Oh no. Oh well. Rolling like a river. Sorry, I don't even know where I am. Anyway, gotta do it. Ha. Headed for the highway, rolling like a river, soaring like an eagle, and skipping like a stone. I'm coming from the heartbeat, nothing but the truth now. Everything is sweeter, closer to the bone. Kris Kristofferson.